Castlevania, another adaptation of a video game franchise, and this time as a TV series, because we've had some pretty good ones.
I am glad Dracula
And also some really bad ones.
Cross as many times as you can.
Yes. Of an elite group of international crime fighters known only by their code name, Street Fighters.
Hey, what are you up to, Link?
The horror. Still, a Netflix TV series is better than a Hollywood movie, am I right? The Netflix series adapts Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse with the art matching Castlevania Symphony of a Night, which suits the show's style. Now, for those who don't know about Castlevania, it is a classic Nintendo video game series about a family of monster hunters, the Belmonts, whose sole purpose in life is to slay the monster Dracula, along with other creatures of the night such as ghouls, goblins, demons, and trolls. I'm sure the turnover rate in that line of work is pretty high, but they must have good benefits. I think the hardest part about adapting a video game is creating a story around the characters. You don't want a simple copy and paste, and that wouldn't translate well given that there's few dialogue in video games. Instead, the writers created a story around these characters, gave them personalities, quirks, and depth. And they did so while respecting the source material, which is really rare these days. When you think about it, these are 8-bit characters we don't know much about. All we really know is that we need to kill Dracula and that we're gonna do it with a bullwhip.
Oh, hell. I'm sorry. I was trying to snatch the stave out of your hand. How's your finger?
Honestly, the only thing I found disappointing, and is probably my only complaint, is that when I clicked to watch, I saw that it only had 4 episodes. And they're only 25 minutes each as well. I felt a little bit betrayed and cheated on. Like, how could I only get 4 episodes and you're gonna call it a TV series? Was Nintendo and Netflix playing it safe? I don't blame them, given the adaptation of Nintendo properties in the past have not been great.
Well, excuse me, princess.
You are not excused, you abomination. However, it was renewed immediately for 8 more episodes, and does show that there is a fan base for adult animation. Now, the first 4 episodes lay the groundwork, the lore, and characters. I was entranced within the opening minutes of episode 1. The animation was stunning. And the first episode focused on Dracula, and we see exactly why he has brought hell on Earth. I know he's a villain, but I was completely on his side. The freaking church burned his wife alive, man. Who is human, by the way, claiming that she was a witch because she uses science.
What have you to trade?
Sounds familiar, right?
Knowledge. Lisa from Lupu.
I thought this was an interesting twist, given that my family is religious and how they portray the church as something faithful and good. But here in Castlevania, it is portrayed as evil and absolute. While the guy who can summon monsters and literally suck the life out of you, you have empathy for. I thought it was a good example of people showing how they can use religion to push their own agenda, and also to justify the wrongful acts they are committing. The entirety of the show, I was just hoping the bishop would get his just desserts. And he pretty much does. Sorry for that spoiler. As for our hero, Trevor Belmont, who we find out is anything but that, is the last living member of his family, who has been excommunicated because the church is really good at decision making. Let's just kick out the family that could have helped us, and instead, fight these monsters with prayer. We meet Trevor at a bar, drunk and disgraced, and not exactly ready to take on Dracula, or even that he wants to. He seems pretty content on living out the rest of his days as a drunk and letting Wallachia around him burn to the ground. We also discover that Trevor is a snarky and sarcastic asshole, which I think made his character so much better.
This is just an old shirt.
But Trevor's not all bad. he does have redeeming qualities, such as standing up for the little guy, calling out the church and their zealots for what they are exactly, plain old bullies. He also rescued the elder of the speakers from the church, who straight out wanted to kill him just because he was of a different religion, and they blamed his group of people for the attacks of Wallachia. Trevor also then had to rescue the elder's granddaughter from the dungeon of a cave troll. Now, who are these speakers, you might be asking? Well, the speakers are a religious group of people who have the ability to use the elemental magic. And they're called speakers because they don't write down any of their history. It's all memorized and they recite it orally. Now, I don't think these people have ever played a game of telephone to know that really doesn't work out. Now, the final episode of Season 1 had a lot of payoff moments, and also had Trevor and Sifa travel further into the dungeon to find this fabled hero. Now, this fabled hero is supposed to defeat Dracula and bring peace to Wallachia. They find a tomb only for Trevor to recognize it instantly as a vampire coffin. Now, from out of the coffin comes Adrian Tepes, also known as Alucard, the son of Dracula. Most Castlevania fans will recognize Alucard from Castlevania 3, and also from Castlevania Symphony of a Night. There's a great fight scene between Trevor and Alucard, and we also realize that Alucard is nothing like his father either. And that's it for Season 1 of Castlevania. I'm really excited for Season 2, and I hope to explore more lore from the games, and also more backstory for Trevor, maybe even Alucard and Dracula. Like what happened to Trevor's family. Castlevania is off to a great start, and I hope this encourages Nintendo to expand their properties more into TV. Well, just animation, because live action doesn't seem to translate too well. So I give Castlevania a 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching another Geek Night review. Until next time.